Hi guys, how to make money in this game and how to make millions. As you can see, I have 6 million over here, and I'm gonna show you how I've been making money over here. Usually I make money from item sales and merchant offers, but mostly from item sales, and there's a trick in order to make that amount of profit, and I will show you in a few moments over here. So I just want to show you my, my graph technically. So I'm gonna show you my setup. At the bottom I have nothing. All I have is people sitting down over here. I used to have something before, but when I started, everything was on the main floor technically. But right now, as you progress, you'll be able to have a bottom floor, like a second floor. You will have like another floor, and then another floor, and then another floor, right? So this is depends where you are. But when you start, all you're gonna have is this floor over here. So when you start, you're gonna buy what you need to buy, but make sure you don't buy everything. Make sure you have, let's say, one crate for ore, one crate for copper, and one crate for silver, if you have silver, that is. But you don't want to make two crates of that, right? Just one crate is sufficient, and you want to have one crate of each as well, and you want to have one ingot storage per ingot you're making. But exceptionally for iron ingot, as you can see over here, I have two storage. So I have, let me see, this guy over here, and I have this one over here, right? So this is iron ingot. Over here I have steel ingot. I only have one. Over here I have one steel silver ingot storage. This one is sterling silver. This one is copper ingot, and only one bronze ingot storage. You don't need more than that, by the way. Same thing over here. I have large sterling silver, large steel ingot, and large bronze ingot. I only have one of each, right? So I'm gonna show you this right now. And if you go back down over here, this is my store technically. So mainly over here, I only have things for sale. And as you can see, if you look carefully, I only have one product of each. Right, but there's a mistake in everything I'm doing right now. The mistake is that everything that I'm doing requires the same amount of mats. So if you're doing everything that requires iron ore over here, you see, you're going to be out of ore pretty fast. So you don't want to go crazy on what you're producing. You want to make sure you make one of everything, or if you see that you don't have enough ore, then you want to remove anything that produces anything that requires ore, like the sword over here, royal sword. So if you come over here, the royal sword requires two steel ingot, right? But one steel ingot equals two iron ingot, meaning two iron ore. Well, technically, two steel ingot equals four iron ore requires for one sword. So you have to make the math, because as you can see here, I only have two racks, and one rack can have up to 6 sword, right? So I have two racks equal 12 sword, 12 times the amount of mats that I just mentioned before. So you have to make the mat, and you have to ask yourself, do you have enough mats, in order to produce what it requires to be sold, right? So one of the mistake, I did before is I did a lot of racks for swords. So I have like 5 of them. So what it means that my people were crafting a lot of sword, and yes, I would make a lot of money, but at the same time, I would be out of iron ore, because I am also crafting other things like this guy over here for the clay pit when you unlock it. So as you can see over here, in order to get 160 clay, I need to make 120 wide cooking pan. So what happened here is that 120 steel equals 240 iron ingot, and 240 iron ingot is 240 ore. So if you produce this amount of, materials per day, and if you're making, let's say, 400 ore per day, depending how many you mine, then you have to make the math of how many ore you're gonna have left, in surplus for your warehouse. Because if you do too much of everything, you're gonna deplete everything very fast, which is why you need to be very surgical when it comes to crafting a certain material. So for an example over here, this shield over here, which is the royal shield. So if you come over here, the royal shield cost me one large steel ingot and two large bronze ingot. So here is only going to cost me 2 iron ore, and here is going to cost me 4 copper. So technically, if you make the math, you can you can ask yourself, do I have enough copper? Yes, I have a lot. Do I have enough ore? So you have to calculate the sword that you were making before, and now you have to calculate the shield that you're making now, and then you make the math, and then you come down and say, yes, I have enough. So one thing, another mistake, be careful over here. One thing that I made a mistake is to add too many people for the trade route. So if you come over here and you go to trade route, so blacksmith trade route. So if you put too many people over here, they're going to be crafting too much of that cooking pan, and you're going to be out of iron ore in no time. So what you can do is to remove few workers so that you don't spend too much ore per day, right? You will be making less clay, but at least you're going to be saving an ore. So as for the clay, right now I need clay right now because I'm producing too much clay. So one of the reason I'm producing too much clay is because I am selling too many things. So what I'm going to do here to alleviate this issue is I'm going to remove something. So here, let me double check. What am I going to remove? What is this one? Okay, I think I'm going to remove. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove this one. The reason, like I said, I'm doing too much clay stuff and I don't make enough clay with the people. Now you're going to say, why don't I add more people in the trade route? Well, that's because if I do that, I'm going to be out of ore pretty fast as well. But considering the fact that I have a lot of ore, I could do it eventually. So I'm going to try that, for now and see if that is going to be a good solution. So I'm going to take one person over here. So this one is metal. I'm going to put him over here. There we go. So now I'm going to be crafting more cooking pan faster. And I'm going to get clay faster. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see two things. I'm going to see if I'm, making enough clay per days. And I'm going to see if I'm still, having ore in surplus. Because like I said, if you put too many people in the trade route over here for the cooking pan, you may be out of iron ore pretty fast. So you have to be careful because you see in this game, it's all about balance. You cannot just craft one same materials because as you progress, you're going to, when you start, you're going to be doing a lot of iron stuff, right? So when you start, it's iron stuff, then it's going to go with steel. So then you're going to jump to steel, right? And after steel, it's going to be copper. And then copper is going to be, wood. Wood, you can start from the start, of course. And then you're going to have clay. And then you're going to have gold. And then you're going to have pine wood. And you know what I mean? So basically, it's about making something that does not require the same amount of material. So over here, if I do too much of steel ingot, then I'm going to try to find something with copper or wood, right? So if I look over here, precise bow, it only requires wood, which is a good thing because you want to diversify what you're crafting. So if you look over here, this one requires copper, right? So again, you're not using any iron ore, which is a good thing, so that you can diversify your crafting. Same thing over here. This one requires wood and one iron ingot, which is a good thing again, so that you can diversify your crafting. Now, the thing about pickaxe is that it's going to take a little bit longer to do because it's a two-piece and you're going to need a workbench and you're going to be making less money. However, even if you make less money, you still make money. And the reason is because, like I said, the goal over here is to make sure that you don't deplete any resources. If you diversify your crafting, you're still going to make money, maybe less, but you're still going to move forward and you're not going to deplete any resources. The second you start depleting resources, it means you're making too much of that product and you need to find an alternative. And the alternative, like I say, is to unlock like blueprints where you will be able to use another type of mats, right? So this one is clay and I don't want to unlock any clay because I'm using already too much clay to produce what I'm producing right now. So what are my other solution? It would be the wood. So pine wood is good. But here it says large steel ingot. So this is kind of good, but the thing is, you need to know how much iron ore you're making per day in order to decide if you want to unlock this. And I would unlock this, to be honest with you, because like I said, I have enough iron ore, and also it only requires one pine wood, which is I have in quantity over here. So pine wood, I have like freaking 21,000, which is more than sufficient. Which is why if I look over here, this is something that I would consider, unlocking, right? Same thing with anything else. So this is clay. I wouldn't take that simply because I do too many clay stuff right now and I don't want to craft more of it. So if I look elsewhere, so one pine wood and two large steel. So this, I could consider that as well. This one, only two large steel. I don't know about that. I like the sword, but the thing is, I need to diversify my mats, like I said. So if you take the same thing all over again, you're going to be out of iron ore in no time. So you got to be careful. Katana, same thing. So I don't know about this. I love the sword, but I don't know if I can afford it because, like I said, I do have a lot of ore, iron ore, but I don't want to deplete it. You know what I mean? So you got to be very, very careful with that. What else do I have? So here, see, so this one is one wood, one large steel ingot, which is a good thing as well because I have a lot of oak wood, right? This one is only one large steel ingot, which is good, but again, it's still iron ore. This one is one oak wood and one large steel ingot, which is good as well. This one would be a workbench required. One silver ingot and one oak wood, which is also good because I have a lot of silver. So silver, well, no, silver, I don't have a lot, so I have to be careful with that. So the mass you want to consider is copper ore, and pine wood and wood. These three things over here. The silver, because I'm making a lot of shields. As you can see, I'm making silver shield. And silver shield requires over here a lot of silver. So you got to be careful because silver is one of the like is the third mine that I'm doing right now, and I don't make a lot of silver per day. So if you go to silver mine over here, which is the third mine, I do enough, just to go through. But if you're doing too many silver items, at the end of the day, you'll be out of silver. So that's why you don't want to go crazy on the silver blueprint. So again, so this one you want to check. Oak wood is good. This one is one silver ingot, which is kind of good as well. This one is one pine wood and one steel ingot. This is very good. I could take that because it doesn't cost me a lot of mats, and I have, a lot of pine wood. I could go with one steel ingot for this, and I would make some money as well. This one is one oak wood, one steel ingot, which is good. Two iron ingot, that's equal one steel, which is good as well. Um, this one is good, but the thing is, I try not to go with steel only. I try to go with other things, because I want to diversify my crafting. So you got to think about that when you progress in this game. That's how you make money. Because if you only make things that requires iron ingot, you'll be out of iron ore during the day. So the one I'm going to take right now is the rake, and because the rake only costs pine wood, and 141 is not a lot, you're gonna say, but trust me, it's a lot if you upgrade it and if you do some contracts with them. So right now it's 189, and I think there was a merchant over here. Whoop, not here. If I go back over here, there are some merchant. Let me see. I think I saw a merchant who was asking for that, and like it's a good thing. As you can see over here, the merchant, I only do wood. So if I click over here, this one is copper, so I only have copper, wood, 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 and pine wood. Now you can say, why do I do that? But like I said, it's because I'm doing too much stuff over here in my in-store for iron ore, and I want to save on iron ore. Because one of the mistake when you progress in this game is that you do everything with iron ore, steel, iron ingot, and then you're out of iron in no time. So you got to be careful. That's why you need to make sure that you produce what you have according to the mass you have technically, right? So copper is good, wood is good, pine wood is very good. Anything else is subjective to you. If you want to go with something that requires iron ingot or steel ingot, then you can take it. But again, just be mindful of how much iron ore you have left in your warehouse, because then if you do everything iron, 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 steel, 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 iron, iron, you'll be out of iron ore and you'll be down to zero, and you'll be like, oh my god, I have no more iron ore. Yeah, well, that's why. So jewel crafting here, I have one silver bracelet, and this one, if you look over here, silver bracelet cost me one sterling silver ingot, which is beautiful, right? And 609 gold, that's a lot of gold. And I have two of them right now. I have two over here, but I have to be careful. Like I say, silver, I have a lot, but I'm looking at it. If this goes down too fast every day, I'm gonna have to remove one rack, because I do want to sell the jewel. But the thing is, because I'm doing shield as well, and I have one, two, three. You know what? I'm gonna remove one. I'm gonna remove one because wait, what about this one? Once again, I want to see how much. What does this cost? Okay, this one costs this. Steel, and okay, I have a lot of copper. Yeah, I'm fine. So I could take that instead, because steel, like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this one over here. Or what is that? What about sturdy shield? Once again, guys, sturdy shield. Let me see. One oak wood and two steel. What the hell? No, two steel for this? No, hell no. No, 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 no. One second. So I'm gonna go with this one. This is one steel and two bronze. Yeah, that's much better. I'm gonna go with this. There you go. So here I'm gonna see that. That's how you adapt, guys. And even so, I'll be honest with you. I got to be careful. 11. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna go with this and see how it is. And then after that, I will decide later if it's too much or not enough. Another thing that I forgot to mention is over here, as you can see, the rack that I have will do iron goblet. And iron goblet is not a good choice, because if you come over here, iron goblet will cost me one iron ingot, right? So if you're trying to save on iron, doing these things over here will cost you iron ingot, right? So you got to be careful with that. The knife over here, the this one, the kitchen knife, right? Anything that requires iron, right? So if you don't want your people to work on that, well, there's two ways to fix that. The first thing is to remove remove it. So you're gonna do this and remove it. But when you remove it, it's gonna downgrade the amount of attraction for your customers. But however, what I usually do is I remove it, but then I re-put it back. So over here, if I go to store and I click this guy over here and put it back, boom. So basically, I am back to 693, as you can see. I had 699, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But what happened is that here, I'm not going to pick anything. So as you can see, I have the rack, I have, you know, the attraction, whatever, but here I don't have to pick the kitchen knife. So what happens is that the rack is going to stay there, but nothing's going to be built over here unless I really want to. So if you don't want to build this thing over here, the ladle, so you're going to remove it like this, right? And then you're going to put it back like here, right here like this. Boom. So now you're going to lose a little bit in customer, but this is going to grow back up. By the way, in 687, that's a lot anyway. Same thing with this guy. So if you don't want to do this one in order to save iron ore, you're going to remove it and then you're going to put it back like that. And also I'm doing jewel crafting, which costs a lot of silver, so I have to be careful. As for the clay over here, as you can see, clay only costs clay, so you don't have to, you know, like struggle with that. The only problem is that clay, depending on how many people you put in the trade route, you may not have enough clay. So if you sell too many clay stuff, and if you don't have enough people in the trade route, right, and if you don't have enough iron ore over here, I bet you're going to be in deep trouble. That's why you need to remove something. So over here, I think I'm going to remove, I said I was gonna remove this. Let me see. No, oh no, no, I'm not gonna remove it because I added somebody recently over here. I'm gonna leave it as it is, right? And I'm gonna see how it's gonna go. If this goes lower, I'm gonna have to remove one rack. Because like I said, if you're wasting all your clay, you'll have no more clay, so you're not being productive at all. Because in the future, you're gonna need clay for other stuff as well if you want to upgrade. So if you have no more clay, you're in deep trouble. You need to have clay in surplus. All right, so be very mindful of that, specifically for the Birkwood, because here it says like, oh wow, you need 60 black amphora. Holy crap, that's a lot of clay. So yeah, so the thing about this game is, in order to make money, whenever it asks you to do something in quantity, you have to reduce something else in order to make up for what you're doing for the next level. That's the thing that I was noticing, and I was like, whoa, wait a second. So if they ask me 40 of this, then I need to go back in store and I need to remove some shelf because I'm doing too much of this, and I'm not gonna be able to, to get Birkwood because I need Birkwood in order to go to the gold mine. So if you want gold, you need to have Birkwood. See, it asks you for a hunter's bow, which requires you one Birkwood. So it's all linked to each other. So I need a lot of copper as well. Holy crap. So if I need a lot of copper, I'm going to go back in store and I'm going to remove stuff that requires copper. So this one is bronze ingot, right? So this shield. So I may have to remove one of the rack because I need the copper ingot, and depending on how much I'm producing per day. So you know what? So you up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's how you make money in this game, is kind of like adapting to the situation where you need something more, then you have to reduce something else in store. So you know what I mean? So same thing with anything else. So yeah, over here I also have bronze sword, as you can see. And bronze sword, if it's a very good product over here because it only requires copper. So this is very good, but the only problem right now is I have no more copper. Holy crap, why do I not have no more copper? Let me double check. Yeah, I do have copper, but I don't have enough people working on it, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't have enough people. Let me see. What is this? 149 sterling silver. Yeah, sterling. I'm gonna change one sterling for copper. So see, if you see that you have too much of something else, like say I have a lot of steel and a lot of sterling, so you're gonna remove somebody from sterling or steel in order to work in copper. So let me double check. All right, so I'm gonna take someone from sterling. Let me double check. So you go to assistant, go to sterling. Okay, this is sterling, 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 sterling. What is one? This is sterling. I'm gonna take one of them, and sterling silver, I'm gonna put it to copper, right? Then I'm gonna go to the steel. So I'm gonna go back to steel. This one is iron. So steel, this guy over here, and I'm gonna change it to copper. So this is how you adapt, guys. This is how you adapt. So now I'm gonna bring this guy at the bottom and put him with the others. Like this. There we go. This and this. So you're gonna make sure you place them correctly so you know what you have. And then you have to look at your rack and see how it is. And then you play and you see if it makes up for what you missed. Here I need people for no, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine actually. So now I'm gonna look at the copper right now because copper is what I need. And I think I'm fine, to be honest with you. So if you have a lot of copper over here, if you have a lot of bronze ingot over here, that's good. Ooh, see how fast? See how it is? This is like on the line. So this is fine. This is fine for now. I would say this is fine. All right, so that's how I do it. So now, so as you can see, I have 5 cashier over here. I have the merchant over here, and what else can I show you? And I'm gonna choose something. See, I'm not gonna take anything with iron. But I wish this one I would, but I don't. I'm not gonna do it because, like I said, I don't want to waste my my iron ore. So unless you really don't mind to take a risk, I'm gonna take this guy over here, and this one I'm not gonna take that. Unlock new floor. I like the floor over here, but I'm not gonna use my iron ore, so I'm gonna refresh this instead. And see, I'm gonna take copper. Copper is good. But be honest with you, I want to save on copper right now because apparently I'm using a lot of copper. So I'm gonna go with the wood over here instead. There we go. I'm gonna go with this guy over here. Yeah, because I'm already because the thing is, like I said, I have too much. Like my ingot, copper ingot is like on the line right now. This guy over here. So because of the goblet that I'm doing, I need to make sure that I have a lot of copper first, and then I will do it later. And you always have to check the other things if it's full or not, and you have to adapt, of course, right? Now, if we take a look at my blacksmith and my workers, so here I have a lot of blacksmith, as you can see. But when you start, like I said, you're not going to hire all of them. You're going to hire a few of them. And when you hire a blacksmith, you're going to make sure you take a perk that they're good at so that you can be more efficient in, what they're going to do, right? When you start hiring people, I highly recommend you choose manual and then you put the points where they're good at. Because if you take highest skill first, they're gonna put like the system is going to put the points maybe some places you don't want to. So you got to be careful with that. All skill equally means it's going to equal everything over here. So it depends if you want that, it's fine. Or do not level up, which I don't know why you would take that. But usually I would go with manual and then I put all my points somewhere. So if I want him to do wood, then I would put points in wood. When you have more points in wood than any other skills, then I would go highest skill first so that the system will automatically upgrade the carpentry skill tree, you know what I mean? But now that I already upgraded these two over here, which were the most important, what I do take is all skill equally, which I don't mind. Or I can go with manual and put points over here, right? For pottery. I could do that technically. Then when I have more points in pottery, I will go with highest skill first so that pottery gets filled up. So over here, all skill equally, no, I'm gonna go with manual. Let me see highest skill. I think I'm gonna go with highest skill first because it's gonna be the metal at the top, I believe. And then this one, highest skill first, so that would be this one at the top. This one, highest skill first. Okay, well, there you go. The next one will be the pottery. Highest skill first would be this one, and then this one. So yeah, so you want to level up metalworking, carpentry, and pottery before design when it comes to crafting for merchant and racks. And when it comes to design, well, it's the opposite. You want to level up the design point first with manual, or if you have more points in design, you can choose highest skill first so that ultimately the design skill tree will be automatically leveled up. You know what I mean? So right now that this is leveled up, I choose all skill equally. Over here for trade routes, I choose people with heat ingots with perks because as you can see for metal, I'm doing over here wooden pan and wooden pan, white cooking pan, sorry. So white cooking pan requires metal, iron ore. So it's metal working, right? So it's only logical that when you come over here that you level up the metal working and you put them on metal at first, right? So it's very important that you do that. This one I choose manual because, like I said, I need to level up. I need this one I put manual because, as you can see, I need to level up metalworking before anything else. There you go. So this one is already okay. There you go. And highest skill first. This one, all right. Once metalworking is leveled up over here, then you don't care about what else you want to do because these one are going to work for metal only, unless you transfer them somewhere else, of course. Here for transferring items, the stats that are the most important, to be honest with you, are the two, well, both of them are equally important because if you can carry more items in your bag, that's good. If you can walk faster, it's also very good. But if I were to choose, it would be walk speed because the faster they walk, the better it is so that they can transfer items faster, right? So there you go. And the other thing also is here you can switch from rack to merchant. So over here, if I switch, so you're going to be transferring items from chest for the merchant outside, and if you want to do the one inside the store for the rack, click switch, and this is for the rack inside. So by rack is the one over here. So this is rack, 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 these are all racks over here, and the merchant is all the one on the left over here. Okay, so that's one thing to bear in mind. When you go to assistant over here, you can switch that. So here I have a lot of people for the racks inside, as you can see. So that's why I have 12 people for rack inside, and I have 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 8 people for the merchant. I don't need more than that. If the how I do that, well, I look at the chest. So if I look at my chest and I see that there's stuff missing and it doesn't get hauled fast enough, then I would hire people. But if I see that it's getting transferred fast enough, then I don't hire any. I don't need to hire more people. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. All right, let's go back over here. Restock raw resources. I have 2 people for iron ore, as you can see. So iron ore is the one over here. So iron ore, and as you can see, I put my crate next to the ladder and the stairs, and the stairs goes straight down to the warehouse, and I made sure there's a door over here. So when they come in, they go up very fast, and they can resupply very fast, come back down, resupply, come back up, and resupply again. That's how I do it, as you can see. If you come up back over here, so yeah, I have 1 person for copper, 2 person for silver, 1 person for clay, 3 person for no, not three. I think more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5% for oak wood. So this is oak wood, and I have 2% for pine wood. So it really depends what you're crafting and how much you need. You have to double check here if your stockpile gets filled up fast enough. If not, then you need to put people, on the specific task in order to haul and transfer resources to the stockpile, right? So you get double check that. It depends how many stockpile you have as well. Crafting ingot. So here, this is interesting because see, I kind of like put everybody in the same spot. So if they're doing iron ingot, I put them all in the same row, as you can see. So I know how many people I have for iron ingot, how many people I have for steel, how many people I have for silver. Is it silver? Yep. How many people I have for sterling silver, and how many people I have for large sterling? Only one, two, oh, two, three. I have 3 people. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 8 people for copper. Right? I got 1, 2, 3, 3 people for bronze, and 1 person for large bronze ingot. And that is good for what I'm doing right now. I am mid game, and every racks gets filled up pretty well, and everything gets done in due time, which is fantastic. Now if you go to the cashier, I only have 5 of them, but when you start, like I said, you only need 1 of them. As you progress, you will notice that the more people you have in store, the more cash you will need, because if these people they wait too long online, they're going to get angry, and if they get angry, it's not a good thing, right? So you want to have enough cashier so to make sure they don't wait too long online. But when you start, again, you only need 1 of them. And when you have 200 people, you may need another cashier. 300, maybe another, 400, maybe another, and so on and so on. So you have to look at the people and see if it clogs at the at the service. So over here, as you can see, there's no clog, and I think I have too many cashier, to be honest with you. What? I'm gonna wait because I know sometimes it clogs because I see sometimes there's a lot of people and it start clogging, and I need all these people. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it as it is right now. This one I'm going to let's see. It takes 20% less time to cut a log, so I'm gonna put points in log over here. There we go. Right? And so yeah, so for lumberjack and miner, I usually go on manual, and the reason is because I look at what they're doing, and over here, as you can see, this guy over here, he's carry ores. This one carry ores. This one carry ores. So I have only 3 miners, I believe. So this one is a miner. This one is a miner. This one carry ores. This one carry, 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 pickaxe, carry. So I only have 3 miners. Now you can say, why do I do that? It's because in the iron mine, if we go to the iron mine right now, so as you can see over here in the iron mine, I have 3 mining nodes, right? You only need 1 person on each, and everybody else needs to haul the ore. Because if you put everybody, so for example, if you come over here, and if I say you do this, both of them, what they're gonna do, they will mine the node, but then they're going to carry it. Then they're going to come back and mine the node and then carry it, and then so on and so on. So it is good in a sense, but it's also not good because the thing is you're going to have a lot of ore on the ground. And by the end of midnight, when it's midnight, all the ore that is on the ground will not count. That's why you need haulers to haul everything that is on the ground. Otherwise, all these ore will go to waste. That's why I only have 3 miners right now, and it works perfectly. And I'll show you a few seconds. As you can see, make sure that for those that carry ores, make sure that you level up the walk speed. Super important. Put it on manual over here. If you have walk speed perk, it's even better. So this guy has full points on walk speed, and he has a lot of stamina. So make sure you take walk speed and stamina. Right? Don't do three at the same time. Go with manual as well, and make sure they have these two. And for miners, make sure that you level up the mining and the stamina. Do not level up the walk speed because these people, they're just gonna mine for a long period of time. So you just need either the mining and stamina or the walk speed and stamina, one of the two, right? That's how I do it, and make sure you put on manual and put your points accordingly. This one, as you can see, for pickaxe, she has a pickaxe damage bonus, which is extremely good, and rest 30% faster. So this is a super worker. If you can get super worker, even better, but it's going to cost you some money. So make sure you have the gold before you purchase them. And then there you go. And choose whatever you can. But here for carry ore, I'm going to put on manual and I'm going to put points on walk speed. There we go. So you do the same thing for the other place as well. Copper mine over here. Copper mine, make sure that you unlock everything. Like as you can see, I unlock everything, but you know, you go with the flow, of course. But this is gonna give you more stamina, this stamina regen, and this one decrease health points of each rock. So if you buy everything, you'll be able to be more productive. Okay, see, I have a lot. See, if you see this, like this amount of ore on the ground is good. This is good. There we go. This is very good. But as you can see, if you don't put speed, you need to put point on speed so they go faster. So now they're okay, but I mean, it could be better, of course. Walk speed, oh, this one has a 20% buff, nice. As you can see, that's very, very good. To be honest with you, I think I would change one. I think three should be enough, be honest with you. Wait 1 second, guys. So I said four, guys, maybe three. So it depends. You have to adapt. You always have to adapt, guys. So over here, carry, there you go. 2 points over here, done deal. There you go. That's what you do. So here now I have one, two, and three. Three people, that's good. So three is enough apparently. I thought four was cause see now ooh, I have a lot of ore over here as you can see. So I'm gonna leave it at three. Let's go to silver mine now. Silver mine. How many do I have over here? Silver mine. So I have one, two. You know what? I'm gonna put them together to make it easier for my eyes. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven people on the silver mine and five people for hauling. Because you see, at midnight, all the ore on the ground is over. They will not count. They have to be in the thing in the storage. All right, midnight. There you go. 191K. You see that? That's the profit I've done today. Wait, let me double check. 182K sell, 75 merchant. That's very nice. So as you can see, I made 280 silver and 333 copper, 478 iron ore. So you got double check, you know, what needs to be done so that you are more productive. All right. So that's how you do it. If I don't have enough miner, then I would switch somebody else to miner and so on and so on and so on. Right. So if I go over here, I'm going to show you this is for my pottery. So look carefully at my setup. You can take a screenshot, right? This is for my designer, right? So take a good look over here. All right. Make sure you decorate if you can. This is for my carpentry. Take a good look. So I have some benches over here, right? This workbench over here, carpentry, storage, etc. All right. Over here, this is my smelting place. So as you can see, like I said, here's my crate for the ore. I don't have the gold one yet, but I will have to remove something in order to put the gold crate in the future. And I put some chests all around the place because I have I have a stairway that go downstairs like this, right? Now you don't have to put in the middle. I put in the middle because I don't know, it's faster, I guess. Because when they deliver stuff, they can deliver to the store and they can deliver to the merchant over here. So it's faster. And I have one stairs over here, like I said, for the warehouse for the people over here to deliver faster, as you can see. So it's way faster. So yeah, so take a good look again, right? And if you go above the last one, the fifth floor, this is the fifth floor, this is the fourth, this is the third, second, first basement, all right? So I just want you to remember that. And the fifth floor, over here, I have workbench. I have this guy over here, what you call this? Sharpening wheel. So I have sharpening wheel for the swords and axe. And you can put more or less up to you. And I have some chests as well, like here, so they don't have to go all the way down. Well, actually, you know what? The chests, be honest with you. So I'm going to remove them so they can go downstairs. They can go downstairs later, actually, so that my haulers doesn't need to go all the way up in order to, get the stuff, so that they can come over here instead. Everything else, like I said, it's really about managing your people. Make sure that you level them up properly. Make sure you diversify their tasks. Make sure some of them are using pickaxe, some of them are carrying ore. Those who are carrying ore, make sure you level up the walk speed, right? Those who are doing mining, make sure you level up mining. So that's very important. And you need to hire, the maximum amount of workers, of course. You can go up to 12 for the miner, and same thing for the lumberjack is 12 maximum. Okay. As for lumberjack over here, this is the setup that I have. And if you look over here at lumberjack, if I take the first one, so this one I give cut trees only, and because she has a perk on cutting trees, and I put a manual, and I put my points over here for cutting trees because she'll be more efficient there, right? The other one is, so this one is for cut logs and chop wood, cutting logs. So I'm going to put points over here first, then over here after. If you go to the next one, same thing. So cut logs. This one is a perk for cutting logs, so points over here. This one, okay, highest skill first will be skill with a saw, technically. Over here, same thing. So skill with a saw, cut logs. There we go. Highest skill first, very good. Same. This one is this one over here for the trees, cutting trees. And I say manual over here, so I'll put points over here instead. This one is all of them, so this one is all skill equally. That's what I decided for this guy. This one is chop wood, so there you go. So it needs 2 less hits to chop wood. So you gotta figure out what works best for you. But at the same time, I'm gonna try to get the super workers for this later on. You do the same thing for pine forest, and you decide what to give them according to their perks, right? So depending on their perk, you want to assign something specific if you want to. Otherwise, you leave it. Otherwise, you just give them everything. But don't forget that there's also debuff over here, so you gotta bear that in mind. Alright guys, so this is my lumberjack setup. As you can see here, this is how I set it up, so you want to take a good look over here. You don't need that many thing over here, but I put them just in case, and this is how I put my stuff, so they get as close as possible to, for resting and then do their job. This is where all the pile is, so you want to make sure you have the whatchamacallit sawbuck over here next to it, and you want to have the chopping block right after, and then you want to have the cart in the middle like this. All right, so that's that. And here, if you look carefully, I have 3 people working and cutting trees, but that could be a lot, so I'm going to put chop wood as well, so that when they're done cutting trees, they're gonna chop wood. Technically, here I just need 3 people working on sawing. So this guy saw, cut logs, cutting logs. Okay, that's good. This one is going to chop. Oh shit! 1 second. This one is gonna chop only. Chop. Okay. Yeah, so I have some people that are good at doing something else, but to be honest with you, I don't have much choice because I don't want to put everybody on doing this. So what I'm gonna do, alright, this one's gonna chop wood, no cut trees, put it over here, and this one is, alright, I'm gonna let these 4 take care of getting logs over here. And this is what I have over here, same thing. So you want to have more choppers than people who saw, because if you have too much pile of wood waiting over here, well, I mean, if you want the wood, technically you need to chop them, and you need more chopper. Technically, I say chopper, but that's pretty much my settings for lumberjack. If you want to take a look, there we go. And if I go to the other place, oak forest, same thing. So see, there's the pile over here, and here. Wait, let me double check. Oh, I need more. I only have 3. I wonder if 3 is enough, to be honest with you. I think it's not enough, because he can run fast. So I need someone who can walk fast for cutting logs. So he can go haul the thing. But this guy, he needs to he has a perk in chopping, so I'm gonna let him chop instead. Right on. So yeah, no, I need more people in cutting now. This guy's gonna cut. There we go. Yeah, now it's better, I think. Another thing I forgot to mention is craft for merchant and racks over here. You gotta make sure that you choose, what they're good at. So wood items for wood, and make sure you level the wood, of course. Same thing with metal over here. So do I have metal? No, this is mostly wood for merchant, and I do have some metal over here. So make sure you level up metal and make sure they have a perk in metal if possible. If you can have a super worker, even better. Over here, so this one is for wood, as you can see. So I give him wood, right? Same thing with everything else. So as you can see, I have more carpenters for merchant than I have for metal, and the reason is because I'm doing, like I said, if you go over here, I have more woods, like orders than metal. So the only metal working is copper goblet, which is the reason why I have less workers on metal working for craft for merchants over here. As you can see, I only have like five, I believe. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and everybody else are carpenters. All right. So you got to make sure you balance that depending on what you're crafting for the orders. The other thing is craft for racks. This one is the most important. So as you can see here, if you have all skills available, leveled ups, I mean, so you can go for most expensive first. Me, I go for most expensive, most expensive. This one I go for wood. I could go for more expensive, but I need people in wood. Most expensive. Wood, because I need wood, and I don't think she should be here. She should be in the design over here, but I'll see later. So this one is for wood. See, all wood over here. Make sure you put the points in wood. Most expensive jewelry. Here you have clay. So if you go pottery, make sure that you level up the pottery, right? And so on and so on and so on and so on. So another thing that's very important is to make sure that you don't waste everything on iron ore. Don't do that. Like at the beginning is okay, but when you get mid game, late game, you have to reduce the iron, production. Anything that requires iron ore, you have to reduce production and transfer that for anything else that is like wood, clay, like pine wood, etc., etc. So you always have to make sure what you can exchange for, and in order to reduce the amount of iron ore resources. So see, this guy is good because this one take oak wood and one steel ingot. It does less money, but you're gonna have more resources for the iron ore because you're diversifying your sellings. So that's pretty much it, guys. The rest is all decoration and position, and that's that. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, please let me know, and thanks for watching. And there you go, 6 million, guys, going to my 1 billion very shortly. All right, and I just made 230K profit over here, which is the highest I've had in a wow. This is the highest I've ever had. Holy macaroni. Total positive 298K. What the hell is this? Holy shit. That is the highest I've ever had.